Turn me up. This is
coming to you from the heart of the Pacific, brought to you by Paulie by Design.
respected at all times.
Broadcasting from San Francisco, California, the city by the bay.
It's about to go down.
We shine on positive Pacific Islander role models every Sunday.
Party on a Sunday.
From 10 a.m. to noon, it's time for the iconic Faika podcast with your hosts,
Listening to
Nackie and Carl.
Good morning, everyone. It is July 5th, 2020, Season 4, Episode 23 of the Faika Podcast. Happy 4th of July plus one. I'm your host, Carl. With me, your lovely host, Nackie. Good morning, Nackie.
Good morning.
And today's show, we're in a trend of no guests. All the guests come in on midweek. Nackie and I are going to see what we can do about that, but it is Nackie and I all day long. We have our check-ins. We've got a couple topics to talk about in the news today, and then we have our community events, as always, to make sure everybody's aware of. That's our show today. Nackie, what's good?
Good morning. So good morning to Leilani Asal Bradley, who's checking in. Thank you for tuning in. Mary Fuimono. Good morning. Tayal Manuia. Yvette Manumel. Good morning, Yvette. My mama, Evie Fooley, is on.
Good morning, Auntie.
I think she should be teaching Sunday school right now, but that's okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. If we can ask you to share the podcast, we'll be talking about statistics again with COVID-19 on the rise. So today is my 34th wedding anniversary.
Ooh, congratulations.
Yes, someone has put up with me for 34 years.
Wow.
So happy anniversary.
3 dimes a time.
Shut up. So happy anniversary, Mo. Thank you for taking care of me and my babies. Yesterday was the 4th of July, and a lot of people celebrated, what is it, the birthday?
It's Independence Day.
Independence Day. I don't know.
Declared as independence from Great Britain.
There you go. So a lot of people celebrated. Mo he got a new grill. He got a new toy. So he used his grill yesterday, and it was like 97 degrees yesterday. So I laid out in the sun like all day, trying to get darker. Good morning, Evai De La Fosse.
Good morning, Evai.
Thank you for our anniversary, Tia Pepe, Tau Talatasi Jr. Good morning, babe. Happy Sunday.
Did you burn or did you brown?
I did not. Deja. Ooh, girl, I need to talk to you. I'm going to hit you up after. Yeah, I burned a little bit, and I'm trying to get dark. I'm too lighter than I like to be. I'm usually dark in the summer, and I love that. So Mo barbecued, the normal ribs, chicken. What else? I made potato salad, mac and cheese, just, tons and tons of food. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law came over, hung out. Frank and Quingy and my brother Pete came and hung out and ate.
Sounds like a good 4th.
Right. And so, I was off this week. Thursday was my very last treatment. So I'm all done.
Was it any different, your last treatment? Just like every other one? It's just
every other treatment. This is just my last one. Tama is on. Good morning, Tama. Michael Gill. Good morning, Michael.
Ooh, good morning, Michael.
I had my last treatment on Thursday, and when you go into the hospital, you go by yourself. So because of COVID-19, I went and did my treatment, and usually my family sits with me, but no one could go in because of COVID. So I usually get hit with Benadryl right in the beginning, and then I slept so good. Like,
wake up in the same position
yes.
you were in when you go to sleep.
I love Benadryl. So right when I got the Benadryl, I knocked out, and then I woke up because I caught myself snoring. I heard somebody snoring, so I woke up. And then came home, and my babies had decorated the house, and we had a little party. Yes, they decorated the house with pink. I love pink flowers and balloons, and we celebrated my last treatment. And
I love the way your family celebrates. Like, they find, you know what I mean? Like, when I saw on video what happened when you came back through the door, it's just such a great festive
Yeah.
family that you have. So I thought
thanks.
the kiddos and everybody who was part of that did a fantastic job. Decorated home, music, got you
Yes.
dancing coming in the
I
door.
know. They played music right when we came in, and it totally has been a celebration since I was diagnosed. We just celebrate every day and celebrate the last treatment, and we have tons and tons of more stuff to celebrate. So I'm grateful for my babies and my last treatment. No more chemo for me. And,
No more chemo.
No more chemo. So hopefully the hair will come back, and I'll have the full Farrah Fawcett look again. And so, yeah, that was Thursday. And then we watched Talanoa Tuesday with Essence of Mana and Asian American Recovery Services with Anthony, Lulu, and Nani. It was so good. They had Ruby on, and she talked about her journey. And so you should go check out Essence of Mana's Talanoa Tuesday. They had Ruby on, and she talks about her life and struggles and Tifa Moana, which she started. So it's a really good interview. Go check it out. I don't want to upstage their thing because you have to go check it out. Go follow Essence of Moana.
We don't want to showbiz that show,
Right.
but definitely go on, listen to the journey that
Right.
Ruby has her journey.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's going to be a lot of this with that Survivor Series. I'm really
Yes.
interested to see where that goes.
Yes.
Essence of Mana has done a great job in the concept of it, and it's so far it's been figures that are public to the
Yes.
PI community, but then you
Yes.
get to know them. You get to
Right.
know what their journeys are. You
Yes.
get to hear stories that you wouldn't hear. And the example would be there were stories that Ruby, if you've seen her dance, you know what I mean? Like if you've seen her perform,
Right.
you wouldn't know some of these stories. The
Right.
same with us when we were on. You may hear us on the show, but you don't know like your story with Blue Lipstick or
Yeah.
all. So the series they're off to a running start.
Right.
It's the Essence of Mana Facebook page. If you haven't checked that out, go check it out. It's people that you may have heard of, but not stories you've heard of.
Right. So yeah, so that's a great series, Survivor series that Essence of Mana is doing. Talanoa Tuesday, every Tuesday. Go check them out. I don't know who they have this Tuesday, but you'll find out if you tune in. Every morning, we start our morning off with our prayer group that we have with Pastor Maverick and First Lady Audrey, and it's at 6 a.m. every morning. And today was the day after 4th of July. And so it was like 5:58 and I thought I was running late, and I go back in and there was nobody in there. And I was like, it was crickets. Right. And so then I jump off to go see if they said they canceled the prayer group. And so I went to go look. I didn't see any message. Then I jump back on, and First Lady Audrey was on. So her and I were talking for like a good, 3 minutes. And then Molly came in, and then people started to slowly trickle in. But I was like, ooh, everybody hung over or slept in. But every morning at 6 a.m., we have a prayer group with Pastor Maverick, First Lady Audrey, like I said. And you don't have to belong to the church. You don't. It doesn't matter what religion you are, or it's just a prayer group to come and a good way to start your morning off with the word of the Lord, or just come to listen to her sing. She did a great. She has a beautiful voice. And this week, Faika with Samoan Solutions, she is in the prayer group too, and she sang and played her ukulele. I kind of threw her under the bus this week because, I threw her under the
and
bus.
then backed the bus over her,
right.
and then drove off over
Yes,
her again.
yes.
Sorry, Fonga.
I did that. Well, Tina is always asking for people if they can sing or have a guitar or want to join in. And then she was throwing Pastor Monga under the bus, who is also in the prayer group. And I think he just got off of work or something like that. And so she said, if anybody plays an instrument. And I just said, well, since we're throwing people under the bus, Fonga plays the ukulele, and she sang a song. Yeah, she sang beautifully. And so it's really an uplifting morning, and it's a great way to start your morning if you want to. And then afterwards, Chrissy Michaele, good morning. Frank Molio, good morning, brother.
Frank.
PJ, hi PJ. Sister Flo, hi Sister Flo. So after our prayer meeting with them, then afterwards we go right into our Bible study. Now we're doing a Bible study, our family, and anybody really can join if you want, but our family is trying to learn the Samoan language. And so everybody says, if you want to learn how to speak Samoan, you have to read the Samoan Bible. So we get the English Bible and the Samoan Bible, and we read the English part first, and then we read the Samoan part. And so it's to the point where I'm understanding, the words are matching, and you know what I'm saying? Like before I would just read the English and then I read the Samoan and I'm just reading it just to read it. But now I'm actually understanding what I'm reading. So it's pretty awesome. I love it. And then we stay on like forever. Jeanette, good morning. Jeanette Neves. And so Bible study, after we read one chapter, and everybody gets a chance to read twice. And then when we're done reading twice, and then we go into, we have these flyers that we've gotten, like colors.
What happens?
Colors.
There you
colors.
Go. There you
colors.
Go. Don't miss it.
Colors. All the time they go. Numbers. We learn the numbers. So they put up, Carl will put up the flyer of numbers, and then everyone will practice doing the numbers, and we'll practice doing colors and speeches and just stuff like, and the Bible, the Lord's Prayer. So everybody takes turns in learning the Lord's Prayer. And so all the time they say, somebody do numbers. I don't know why I have it in me, but I'm always colors. Colors.
Every time.
Every morning.
I thought you missed it one of the days, and then you started late.
I don't know
got
why.
it. You got it in.
Yeah. I don't know. I do that every morning. So one morning, Flo and I, so we get on and we talk, and then after everybody starts, has to go start their day and say goodbye. And one morning, me and Flo and my mom were on for like, I don't know. So we get on it at 6:00 in the morning because we start prayer. And then after that is Bible study. And Bible study goes until at the latest 8:30, right? And then, from 6:00 in the morning, me and Flo just started just talking and catching up and chatting for, I think it was 5 hours. It was like by the time we got off, it was 11-ish. So, Katerina, good morning.
Good morning, Katerina.
So, Flo and I got off like 11:30, and only because we had to get off and eat or clean our house or do something besides sit in front of the computer. So I love that our Bible study is getting our family together, and we're learning the language. And a lot of people that started with us, they've improved so much. Like,
yes.
I'm so proud of everybody in the group that is doing so much. And yes, 5 hours. Yeah, Flo said 5 hours. 5 hours. And we talked about everything. Just the kids' life, everything. And so I love that we all get to catch up and learning the language at the same time. And so, yeah.
Sister Flo is the teacher's assistant.
She is the
She's the one that
teacher.
keeps us
She's
in
the
line.
teacher's aide. She's the favor, as my mom would say. My mom calls Flo the favor, which is AKA the favorite. So she is the teacher's assistant, and she directs traffic and everything. So, yeah, that is pretty much my week. I love Risa. Oh, Risa.
Good
Hi,
morning,
Risa. Mwah. Washington in the house. So, yeah, that is our Bible study thingamajiggy. What is your take on this whole Bible study?
On the Bible study, I am not where you're at. I'm just trying to read it in Samoan. So eventually I'll get to where there's pieces of the words now when I'm not just trying to pay attention when my turn is going to be. I'm still kind of at that stage, but when I am actually looking at the Samoan version while somebody's reading the English, there are pieces that are slowly starting to fall in.
Right.
And I will pick up the Bible, the app, I have it on my iPad, randomly throughout the day and just pick spots to read. And I wasn't a believer in the whole if you want to learn how to speak Samoan, you got to read the Bible, because I hadn't learned the alphabet yet, right? So I knew some words, and I think that's one of the problems is I knew some words. Yeah. But then if you don't understand the alphabet, then you open the Bible and there's long words, and you're not going to be able to get your way through long words unless you understand the alphabet first. So as basic as that may sound, and I think a lot of us found that out in the class.
Yes. I didn't realize
Tama, because we're going to talk about Tama too.
Right.
That was one of the big things that I took out of Tama's class last year.
Yes.
Was, look, start with the alphabet, understand what each letter sounds like, and then the words aren't that intimidating.
Right.
But they sure are intimidating if you don't know. It just looks like a big mess of vowels.
Right.
And then what I would do is I would guess at it. So after a while, I just gave up on it.
Right.
But once we started doing it, I really understood the alphabet to begin with. Things have come a lot quicker, but we've come a long way in that class.
Oh my
Everybody has come a
gosh,
long way.
everybody's doing so good. And Flosic, Kololo, you're doing amazing. Good morning, Trish, Sister Trish. Good morning. So, what was I going to say? Oh, and we're learning all kinds of new words. And so what was big for me was taking Tamaz's class when we took his class. So Tuesday, we interviewed Pastor Tautala Aso Fa'aleava. I hit all the vowels. And we were taking his language class every Friday. It was at Friday night. For a couple hours. The first hour was language and the second hour was culture, which I loved. I love both parts. He is such a good teacher, and I got a lot out of the classes. But my main thing was that when he said the vowels are king.
Each vowel is
Each
king.
vowel is king, and you have to pronounce every single letter when you're reading. So I love. Hi, Hopi. Hopi's doing really good too. Hopi is in our Bible study, and so she's
Hopi's
doing
come a long
so
ways quickly, very
fast.
quickly.
She's a fast learner. So I love that Pastor taught us the basic. It really hit me. Basic is all the vowels are king. So that helped me read better, and so and it helped us when we went to Samoa. He helped us.
Yes.
Do casual conversation and understand what the person is actually saying to us. So thank you, Pastor. But we interviewed him. He was our guest on Tuesday of our midweek Faika. We had Pastor on, and he talked about pastoring in Jamaica, how it was there, living in Samoa and New Zealand, and his beautiful wife, Samoa Elizabeth Fa'aleava. Hey girl. And then how they're relocating right now, and he's working for Stanford. He's amazing. Go check him out. The Malama page is where we have the Samoan class that we've been doing via Zoom, and they're on a break right now, so they'll start back up maybe in August, I believe.
Yeah, he was saying late July, maybe or August, probably more likely August.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I really we used to talk about it a lot when we first started. Was we had Matais in the room. We had beginners like me that the alphabet was going to be somewhat of a challenge, and he taught his class where everybody was learning at the same time. People were helping each other out. He was able to get that concept of people helping each other out in the classes virtually, because we broke out into groups.
Yes.
And I think the groups are random, but there was enough diversity in the abilities that there was always somebody in the group that was there to help everybody else that didn't speak Samoan really well. So that's one of the things that I love about Tamaz's class is it feels safe.
Yes.
The learning environment is safe and you're supported, because that was one of the biggest things coming into the class was I was like freaked out about, I'm going to say something that sounds really bad or different or off and basically wrong. And we were in a church, right? So there was a whole bunch of intimidating things coming in, and Tamaz does a great job of just making you feel comfortable. You're still challenged, you're still taught, you're still learning, but it's not that thing where you're afraid to say, maybe no,rvous, but you don't have to be afraid. He makes a great environment.
Yes. Good morning, Tammy Rodandi, Oregon, checking in. Imani from Hawaii.
Imani,
good morning. You're up early,
I
aren't
miss
you?
Imani. Yes, he is up early.
Yes. Good morning. First Lady Audrey Tufuli is on. Good morning, First
Falatua.
Lady. We was just talking about you, girl. Oh, it was funny though. This morning during prayer, she said last week somebody told her, "Oh, I seen Pastor Maverick on the Faika midweek, and you guys were Faika calling with Carl and Nackie," and First Lady said, "No." The show is called Faika. It's short for Faitala, which means to tell stories. The pastor does not Faika Kala. I was like, get him. So that was funny. So yes, yeah. She always says the voice of Polynesia. That's funny. But I love the prayer group, and we had good conversation before everybody walked in. So, like I said, you don't have to belong to the church. You don't have to be of any specific religion. You just join and we'll check in.
There's another warm, friendly, welcoming atmosphere.
Yes.
The prayer group.
Right.
Definitely.
Right. So, yes. So, Pastor talked about lots. We go check out the interview. It's on our Facebook page, and I also uploaded it onto our YouTube page. Slowly uploading all our interviews onto YouTube. I'm still working on loading all the podcast shows from FCC Free Radio. I'm loading that onto our Faika app, and so I'm just trying to catch up. There's a lot of good interviews from FCC. We loved doing our shows there, and so we had a lot of great guests. So I'm starting to upload the shows, and then Tama Fatleava was a really good interview. He talked about being a Matai
at a young age. There's a great
17.
story there.
Mm-hmm.
Go listen to the interview.
Yes.
He talks about becoming a Matai at 17.
Yes.
And the difficulties. I mean, you're a young man. It's difficult enough to be 17. And then to become a Matai and have all the responsibilities that come with that.
Yes.
He tells a great story. And, his journey through Jamaica, New Zealand,
right,
to Stanford, where he's at currently. I mean, it's an incredible journey, and he does a great story telling it. So go check it out.
Yes. So it's a great interview. I love him. He's a really, really good person who is trying to help the community. He was helping his church and the community around him. He's a great guy. So go check out the interview. We love Pastor. First Lady Audrey says, let's get it straight. We make statements that bless all. I just love her. She's so funny. So, Bible study. I know it sounds like a religious podcast, but right, if you know me, you know, I love the Lord, but I also like my alcohol too. So, just kidding.
I saw something on Facebook that said if you drink a fifth on the fourth, it's hard to go fourth on the fifth. So people may be moving a little slow today.
Yeah, people are moving a little slow. Deb Salamo Sua. Oh, hi, Deb.
Hey, Deb.
Good morning, PJ. Everybody that's on, thank you so much for tuning in. If we're going to ask you to share the podcast, so we've got a lot of good information. COVID, it's 10:23. Are we reading something? Are we going to break? What are we doing, Minna? Oh, we're going to read something. Go ahead, Carl.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good that your conversation had to do with me reading something. All right. Pacific Islander Youth Alliance has a summer program online. Join their 6-week summer program online. To register, either go to our Facebook page and see the link there, or you can write this address down. It's tiny.cc/PIYA 2020. Again, that's tiny.cc/PIYA 2020. We got to see the outcome, the product of PIYA on our Bible study.
Oh my God.
Our niece Moana.
SCDC is doing such a great job with their online classes.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they're teaching the language, they're teaching songs, they're teaching the culture. And Britt Ma'alona, Ray Ma'alona, their daughter, Moana, got to recite her numbers. She got to sing like 2 or 3 songs. I don't know if I'd say got to. She got put on stage and told to sing. But she did a great job. And I loved hearing the encouragement that she got to hear from all of us on the group. So again, that is PIYA. It's a summer program online. It goes 6 weeks, and you can find all the information on our social media.
Right. Alofisula Manning, good morning. Thank you for tuning in.
Morning.
The census counts determine how the government redraws districts, which can give our community appropriate representation in Congress, the state capital, and in cities and towns across the country. An undercount could cause us to lose congressional seats. A complete count will gain us accurate representation. PIs were so undercounted for the census 2010. So we're asking you to fill out your 2020 census. Go online. It's 9 simple questions. When it asks you what race you are, is it your race? If you don't see your island, check the box where it says other and you can write it in. How amazing is that? We're missing out on all kinds of resources by being undercounted. So we need you to go, do your census. If you've lost your form that gives you your number, you can still go online and fill out the census. People, 9 simple questions. We need to be counted. To learn more, visit californiacensus.org. californiacensus.org. Why is the census important to me? I'm tired of being called other. How amazing is that? That's from Professor Anna Patera, who said that. So,
and the smaller the community, the smaller the group, the more important it is to get counted. You look at the African American community; they make up 13% of the population. That's 40 plus million people.
Right.
So if somebody doesn't get counted, it means something for groups. But the smaller the group, and we are a very small group when you compare Pacific Islanders to Hispanic or African American populations. So more important, more helpful, more resources, more programming, and more funding, the more accurate the count is. It means more to us than it does other groups.
Right. So get on it. Do it. You have until October 14th to fill out the census. Plenty of time, but we need you to do it now because they take they check in every so often to give a percentage of how much the state of California, the PIs have filled out the census. So go do it. It's really simple, 9 easy questions. You can do it.
That's the thing that you think about. Who's our audience? Our audience is PI. If you're listening or watching, you're probably a Pacific Islander.
Yes.
Then ask around. Ask your family, your friends, the Pacific Islanders that you know. Ask if they've registered, if they've logged in for the census.
Yes. Fill out your census. It's important. It's important to your kids. It's important for your family. So we're going to take a break real quick. Good morning, George and Rebecca Achika. Good morning,
Achika
brother.
family. Good morning.
So we're going to go to break, and our first song is Stay Strong by Hi Guy Lai Tofayono. Go follow him on SoundCloud and everything amazing. I love this song, Stay Strong. We'll be right back.
Joseph, Island Block Radio. Y'all are tuned in to the Faika podcast every Sunday at 10 to 12 noon. Stop playing. Come on.
Everything will be alright. Sit back and cool. Do what you do. Start to rearrange your mind. I'm tired of facing these temptations. Wondering, will I ever make it? Sit back and cool. Do what you do. Yeah, look. And what you do if you know when your time's up? Cause I probably go crazy, screaming life sucks. A crazy life, I probably couldn't even grind much. Gotta be patient with your cause, give it some time. Look, I'm on a different height, trying to live a different life. The game left, so I'm out here trying to get it right. All these clouds, man, clearing up my eyesight. Fresh air, sunny days, so I know it's alright. And the mood right. On a school night, living on the cool hype. Grown man business, ain't worried about what them fools like. I'm on another chapter, a life filled with laughter. The green money, my family, and yeah, that's what I'm after. I'm chasing dollars, chasing dreams. I done this out of love, putting hate out easily. I do this for my fam, was never in it for the streets. Tell them haters to relax, cause ain't no need for the beef. No matter what's wrong, you gotta stay strong and know that everything will be alright. Sit back and cool, do what you do. Start to rearrange your mind. I'm tired of facing these temptations. Wondering, will I ever make it? Sit back and cool, do what you do. And
I'm tired of waking up seeing my pop strap.
stressing. Cause his impression was to see my fam make it. He just wanna see him wrong, it all depends on how you take it. Now when you make it, is you giving that man praise? You gotta humble yourself, my nigga, and get the picture. Spitting the truth without a point of liquor. Is you rolling polo or who rolling with you? My time saying time will tell. And I'm always on my grind for my family. Shit, I love them for real, nothing less. Minding my own, it eases the stress. I ain't the best, but with the mic I'm like a top chef, and it keep going. Finish lining in my shine, yeah. I ain't finna stop here. Punchlines will probably leave you drop quick. I gotta get it, I'm confident, cause my family, they knew I was ready. God's up keeping my game steady, and my whole fam heavy. And them haters feel it, got them niggas feeling a little peanut butter jelly when I spit the realest quotes. And niggas probably hurt, trying to have my whole family flying in the birds. The ignorance around me ain't never being hurt. Smile with your chin up, forever feeling blessed, you heard. No matter what's wrong, you gotta stay strong and know that everything will be alright. Sit back and cool, do what you do. Start to rearrange your mind. I'm tired of facing these temptations, wondering will I ever make it. Sit back and cool, do what you do, and everything will fall in place.
And we're back. You're listening to the Faika podcast. I'm Nackie. With me, as always, is Kalalo.
Good morning. Love that song.
Yeah, me too. Stay strong. That was by Hi Guy Lai. Go follow him on SoundCloud, on all social media outlets. Hi Guy Lai.
Makes me wonder how people get exposure, because that's way better than some of the songs I hear.
Yeah.
On the radio, you know what I mean?
I know.
Like, there's some of this stuff needs to get discovered.
Yes. Good morning, Fia.
Good morning,
Washington checking in. So
Bellingham in the house.
Bellingham in the house. So this week, tons and tons of everything in the news. Everything's COVID. Everything is Black Lives Matter.
Mm-hmm, that's the news.
Yeah. So.
I mean, you know, those are important big things when the election that is looming now. I mean, it's months away.
Right.
And it usually, in an election year, this would be dominating the news headlines. This would be everything, CNN, Fox, you know, on the radio, on the internet. It would be all about speeches and campaigns and who's aligning who with who. The election is a topic, but it's not like it normally is. That's how big BLM and how big COVID is from a news standpoint.
Right. COVID, everything's closing back down again. It was because the numbers are rising, and I mean rising quickly, rapidly.
Dr. Samoa said this a long time ago, is that, well, we got to get through the first wave before we start talking about a second wave, and we never did. We peaked it off, and the numbers started to fall as a country. So it was kind of that flatten the curve thing, and then it dipped a little bit, leveled off, fell a little bit, and then just took off. It's worse now than it was before.
Yeah. So, are we going to go through numbers? Let's go through numbers. So, this week we got a lot of. Sorry, we got a lot. I blanked out. You know,
we got a lot of information.
I had a lot of information. So. One of the numbers, Arkansas, you have that one, Minna? Arkansas, 1,464 is the number of Pacific Islanders COVID-19 cases in Arkansas as of July 1st.
I think that's a hard number for people to wrap their minds around.
Right.
Because it's Arkansas.
Yes.
Like there's people, like some people don't even know that there's
PIs in Arkansas.
A Pacific Islander population in Arkansas.
Right. So 1,464. And then are you going to put that up? 975 is the number of Pacific Islander COVID-19 cases in California as of 5 days ago.
So
4 days ago.
There's something to think about there. That's huge in the sense of Arkansas outnumbering by a long ways. It's not even close. And the tiny state of Arkansas has a lot more cases than the entire state of California. Pacific Islanders. These are all Pacific
Islanders. And they have a big Marshallese community there, Marshall Island, Marshallese community in Arkansas. And the numbers are rising. And so they're trying to get a grip there. Dr. Melissa Leyland is the doctor there that is with Pacific Island, National Pacific Islander COVID-19 response team, who reports the Arkansas numbers. And so that is a crazy amount. the 975 in California is crazy. I think people don't really take it serious, like Pele, Ely, the Ely family. They weren't taking it serious, and they just was going about their day until his parents caught COVID-19, and they were so ill, and they just didn't take it serious. And Pele, who's the oldest of their family, was left to take care of his parents and his younger siblings, and he took on that huge responsibility of taking care of his whole family.
Right.
And it affected his mother was on a ventilator, and she spoke about being on the ventilator for days, couple of weeks actually, and how she was starting to become dependent, was scared to get off of it because she was scared that she would stop breathing.
Most people don't come off of ventilators.
Right.
The vast majority
Exactly.
of people early on,
Right.
that was the statistic that we were hearing in New York, was that the majority of the people, and it was upwards between 70 and 80% of the people that went on ventilators
Right.
never came off. So they may survive in terms of being alive, but they didn't come off of the ventilators.
Yeah. So, and then in Utah, 881 Pacific Islander COVID-19 cases since July 1st. It's the 5th, people. It's the 5th of July. July 1st, 881 cases have been reported in Utah. And this is just Pacific Islanders alone. I think Utah is one of the highest. I think Utah, Washington, and California, the numbers for Pacific Islanders by race, they're, what is that word? Disaggregated?
Oh, they have the numbers.
They have the numbers.
So you can see PI numbers.
Right. So Pacific Islanders are the highest in the breakdown.
Right.
And then Washington State, 760 is their number. I mean, July 1st. I mean, it's just 4 days ago,
Right.
4 or 5 days ago. And so I can't even imagine the numbers now. You know what I mean? That was on July 1st. What is the number now? And I think the 281 in Oregon. And Oregon is a small state, but there's a big PI community there. What's her name? Manu Malo, who is up there doing an amazing job of helping disaggregate the numbers and getting resources. She's, Pacific Islanders that are so sick and that are the breadwinners when they can't, are unable to pay for their rent. Manu Malo and Utopia Portland are helping people get their rent paid, getting them food, getting all kinds of resources. They're doing a great job there in Oregon.
They have done a really great job of gathering information for resources.
Yes.
So they're very broad in the way that they can help the community. It's not just one or the other. They have access to a whole bunch of different services, and she does such an amazing job of communicating the numbers. And that may sound kind of like, well, how tough is it to communicate numbers? It is hard to speak to the numbers, have confidence, and then be able to communicate the impact of those numbers to the community. So, I mean, big shout out to Malo
and
Utopia
everyone.
PDX.
Yes, Utopia PDX is doing a great job of helping resources. Utah is doing a great job. Jake Fiti-Semanu is also part of the Pacific Islander COVID-19 response team. Who else? Joseph Saya in Washington. I know. He is so
Jacob
funny.
Fiti-Semanu is an engaging speaker.
Right.
A great guy.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, there's every time I hear him speak, I'm like, how come you're not like the president?
I know. Yeah. Joseph Saya is doing a great job in Washington. Cowan and Rita Scanlon and Southern California, and then Natalie Asun and Tao and Lisi. Oh my God, Lisi is the bomb. She's is head of the data team for the National Pacific Islander COVID-19 response team. So we have 303 is the number for COVID-19 in Iowa. Can you believe that? Iowa. Like, if you live in California, you think all the PIs live in California. And so everywhere, COVID-19. 303 is the magic number. awful number in Iowa. So we just want to make sure that everyone is aware of the numbers and that you're careful and that you do wear a mask. I've seen some people come on and respond to some of our podcasts or the numbers that we post up, like, oh, somebody said if you don't have to wear a mask. And, I mean, it's better to be safe than sorry, that you protect yourself and the people around you. So we just want to make sure that you, at the very least, wear a mask and wash your hands and social distance, which is, I know it's hard for Pacific Islanders, but let's try to do our best to keep healthy.
Yeah, and I think that, again, going back to what Dr. Samoa said, I think this was in March, early on when all of this was just starting to happen,
right,
was the strongest tool we have is social distancing.
Right.
That is the strongest tool we have. It still remains the strongest tool that we have. When you think about the two different ends of the spectrum, you have the beginning of it and you have the far end. The far end is, really effective treatment or a vaccine.
Right.
We don't have a ton of that at that end of the spectrum. So when you go to the other end, it's not getting it. And that is social distancing. Masks are important. Masks are secondary. Social distancing is the most effective way to stop the spread of COVID-19. And I hope we don't lose sight of that as we get into it. We hear, the news says this, you're going to hear. So we just reported a whole bunch of numbers from a whole bunch of different states.
Yeah.
And there is a feeling of, testing's increased incredibly. So of course cases are going to go up. Some of those cases are asymptomatic or people that are already done with it. Absolutely. 100%. We're not saying that all of these cases, this increase in cases, are people that are sick, but hospitalizations are going up as well.
Right.
So when we're saying that we're going to go out and we're going to open businesses and do those things, what we're saying is we're now going to try to manage the pandemic to not overflow our infrastructure. Yeah. So if that's the case, you look at hospitalizations and you look at access to beds, that is becoming that's rising as well. So if you have rising cases and you have rising hospitalizations, then that's cause for concern. And it's nothing's really different now than it was when I think everybody felt it in March and April. When it was first hitting the country. I think people took it more serious than it is now. But if you weren't getting together and you weren't interacting in March and April, I would ask, what is the difference now? Why would you do it now if you wouldn't have done it in March or April? Because the pandemic is still on the rise.
Right. And then the numbers for Hawaii is 295 since July, as of July 3rd. So that is just 2 days ago.
There's 1.2 million people in Hawaii. It's not a highly populated state.
Right. 295 Pacific Islander COVID-19 cases. So we're just asking you to in 3 days. It's since July 3rd. It's crazy that it's still rising, and it could be higher today. So our main thing is just what I remember Dr. Malik Fuimono said during the town hall. So go check out the Pacific Islander COVID-19 town hall where Dr. Malik Fuimono spoke about being on the front lines, a doctor treating patients at COVID-19, and to see families that when you get treated, you get put into the hospital and your family can't come visit you. You can't see anyone but the doctors and nurses. And what got me was when Dr. Fuimono said that he was so sad to tell people that, one, you can't see your family member. The last time you see them is when they go in and get, admitted into the hospital. And so sad to the next time you get to see your family member is when you come back into the hospital to say goodbye to them because they have passed of COVID-19. And he was very emotional talking about that because, as PIs, we're so community-based, we're so family-oriented that to watch our family member go into the hospital and you can't go visit them.
Right.
Usually the hallways are lined up with Pacific Islanders if you're aunt or whatever.
Some hospitals, the phone doesn't work. Right. So I read a story, this is in March, of a Pacific Islander that dropped her son off at the hospital. And that was the last time she saw her son was when he was walking into the ER because they wouldn't even let her take him into the ER. That was the last time that she saw him and the last time she communicated with him because the phones didn't work either.
Right.
Those are scary, real things. And one of the things that I think is out there is the feeling like there's the media or organizations are trying to make people live in fear. And that's not why we're communicating numbers.
Right.
We're communicating the numbers so that we're educated as to what's going on.
Yeah.
If you know what you can do to not contract it or not pass it, then you're educated and you can make your decisions. This is not something where we're trying to make people live in fear. Just have the information and make good decisions on good information.
Yeah. So that's one of the main reasons why we just want to make sure that everybody's informed and that you get the data. And there's just so many stories of so many people. Good morning, Helen. Helen Verma.
Good morning, Helen.
Thank you for sharing. Oh, you're welcome. So COVID-19, we just want to make sure that we are getting the right information and that we just protect one another.
Sure.
Yeah. So lots of, I forgot what I was going to say. Damn it. Go take it.
Oh, I now I remember what you were going to say.
What was that?
I'm not going to tell you because I don't really know. But
Yeah.
that took up some space, so there was no dead air. But the good thing about having our own show is if we mess it up, we mess up our own show. Let's see. So this week I lost. I've started in probably the middle of May, late May, and I am down 12 pounds.
Yay! Congratulations.
Thank you. And it's not. I am not hungry. I'm not depriving myself. I'm doing kind of just sensible stuff. But what I love is I save my cheat day up for one cheat meal on Saturday and a cheat meal on Sunday. And my cheat meal on Sunday is breakfast when I come to the Holy House. And today, because Mo got a new grill yesterday, he made chicken, he made ribs, there was crab potato salad. So I've got enough calories to last me into like Wednesday. It's only Sunday morning, but man, Mo could cook. That was I had I had barbecue chicken, I had a rib, and I had crab potato salad and scrambled eggs for breakfast. That was my cheat meal for the day, but I love coming here.
Yeah, good stuff. Oh, you know what I was going to talk about? This is what I remember. Dr. Reno Samoa this week was on his Facebook, and I was being a Faika on Facebook, and he had written about scary stories in Samoa. His talking to his mom or his parents, and they had they were talking about his family and stuff, and he said that his parents were talking about this. I guess maybe it's an aiku, but he said he had family members that had passed away, and he asked his mom and dad what they had passed away of, and they said, "Oh, the ngifo." Right. And in Samoan, that means tooth or teeth. And so he had asked everybody if anybody had heard of this,
I saw that. That
Mongifo.
Big
there
discussion.
He goes. Yeah, it was a huge discussion. So he said that the story that his grandfather's parent had 10 daughters, and all 10 of them died when they were young of this ngifo.
And he just found this out, right?
And he just found this out. And he is a doctor, so he's never heard of it. So it came down to, it was like this pussy thing or on your body. And that when I know this is kind of gross, and if you're eating breakfast, I'm sorry, but
here it comes.
Here it comes. But when the wound opens up, it's like this white hard thing that comes out of it, and it looks like a tooth. It's really gross, and some people have seen like hair, and I mean, it's really, really scary, and people have died from it. And then people started going into all kinds of ngifo stories, and they asked the professional, Jacob Fitzsimmons, who knows? Yes. So, and then, he just, it's a pussy thing. And I think they just talked about how, back in the day, there's no cure, but because there's this white hard substance that looks like a tooth, that's why they call it mongifo disease kind of thingy. But it was very interesting to me, and people were talking about it with stories growing up in Manua. And I know that if you have never been to Samoa, like when we went to American Samoa, people were like, "Oh, let's go to Manua," and I was like, the story is I heard that you cannot go there without being invited by somebody
Someone who
who's
lives there.
from Manua. So I wasn't sure about it. I've never heard of it. And then I asked Mo, and he said he's heard of her. So that's one that I've never heard of, Mongifo. So if you have stories about it, I'd love to hear about it. But he had just this long discussion of it, and I thought that was very interesting because I'm into those,
Right.
scary legends or curses, what they would say.
He said his family ended up moving, right?
Yeah, from that area.
And then a child survived, right?
Yes, then they child survived because something like where they lived, and Mo was saying this, that back in the day, that if you buried people and you made them mad or angry with them or something like that, they would dig the bones up and then bones up and rub them, massage the bones with oil or some kind of fangu or some olive oil or something, not olive oil, what is that? Aloe, and massage the bones to just ask for forgiveness or to cleanse the soul or the bones, and then bury them back up, and then you will be forgiven. So it's or something to that effect. But it was scary to me, and it was kind of weird.
I read
not
more,
weird, but just
I didn't think I read much of the thread, but as you're saying it, I remember reading what they did.
Yeah,
and that was a really interesting a thread, and we had talked about this. I think we were still back at FCC for radio about I think it was with Neo about different Aiku stories, different superstitions. Your family has a superstition, right, with cats?
Yes, our family's superstition is with cats. So, and it's been going on for years and years and years. Whenever a cat comes crying to our window or our door late at night, or actually any time of the day, but mostly it happens at night, and it wakes us up out of our sleep, then that means somebody that we love or know or that we're close to is about to die. So, and me and my kids, like all the time we hear a cat crying, we just, oh my God, you know what I mean? My kids will come into my room and say, Mama, I heard a cat crying. And then a day or so later, a loved one would have passed away. So we hate cats. I mean, I know there's cat lovers, but child, we hate cats.
Cats crying or not, you don't like
crying or not. We don't want nothing to do with cats because that is our what is it? Our kind of our, I don't know, superstition that when cats come crying to our window or our door, somebody that we know and love, that we're closely related to, is going to pass, and it never fails. And we're not wishing it onto us; it just happens all the time. Like when I first married Mo, that was his.
So
his thing.
It's a Molly.
It's a Molly thing, because when I first married him, he told me that, and I was like, eh, and then I was like, eh. And then it's just now that when we hear and it never fails, all the time a cat comes crying to our door or our window, or we hear it in the middle of the night, that happens to us. So it's kind of scary, and that I don't know if it's a superstition, but it happens and it works. So
kind of like an omen, right?
An omen, right. And so so that was Mongifo thing that I read off of Dr. Samoa's page. He was curious about it. He had never heard about it. And then the string and the conversation in that string was really interesting to me. And I was being a Faika and read everything. And so, because I had never heard of it. So that was interesting to me.
What was the tree falling thing when we were in Samoa?
Neo had.
I don't remember.
Neo and Leah had went to go visit a family member, a good friend, and her husband had passed away like within a year or two. And they were talking to her, and they were getting ready to leave, and they were saying goodbye to her and Leah and Neo. And then when they were getting ready to leave, the tree fell over. A tree fell over, blocking the road, their path. And so they took it as this person wasn't ready for them to leave. And so, so some people had to come help them move the tree so that they can leave. And they took it as the person that had passed away was there with them and didn't want them to leave. So I'd have been scared and probably would have left.
Yeah, and it wasn't a little tree, because Leah, of course, our professional photographer, our documenter on our trip, took a picture of the tree, and it's this gigantic tree.
Right.
Like, it's not a little tiny tree that would blow over in the wind. And I can't remember who, but they were telling that story to somebody, and they were saying, oh, that's the one with the swing, right?
Yeah.
And they remembered the tree. It was that big that somebody unrelated to the story that had been there remembered the tree.
Right. It was crazy. And so, yeah. So, and then there was then later on, Dr. Reynolds Samoa talked about Alao'o. And it's something about the spirits walkway of the spirits from the mountains to the sea. And the back and the legend says you can tell you are on these paths if you find remnants of the ocean, fish, starfish, coral, seashells in places far away from the ocean, like the mountains or forest. And the spirits would drop their catch as they walk back to the mountains. So you're not supposed to, and I don't know what village it is, but you're not supposed to sleep in the doorway or the pathway of the ocean to the mountains so that the spirits can walk through. Crazy. I'd be so scared. So yeah, and then it just tons and tons and tons of all kinds of stories that are pretty scary. So, and I'm a makafefe, I'm a scaredy cat, so I'm trying not to upset any kind of spirits or anything like that.
We had when we were in Samoa, and this isn't something scary, but it's along those same lines of being connected with nature or spirits. We had gone to Waikongi, and the story is that if they sing the song, if a villager, someone who lives in Waikongi, sings the song. Do you remember the song? I don't remember the song.
Yeah. So real quick, the Waikongi thing is the turtle and the shell or shark. And if you sing their song, there's a song
from the village.
You have to be from the village. If you sing the song, you get somebody from the village to sing at Waikongi at the ocean, the rocks where we are at. If they sing the song, a turtle and a shark will appear as they're singing. And so we got Auntie from Waikongi, and she came to sing, and we were all there. And then
we're all there. Our family's there, and Auntie and two of her granddaughters, were singing, and a turtle showed up, and everybody, and you can't point at the turtle. And this happens several times. They told us, don't point at the turtle or the turtle will disappear. So the first time I saw the turtle, I was with Mona, and I said, there's a turtle out there, but you can't point, right? And I was watching it, and she kept looking. Of course, she's asking where, and I can't point at it, and then it just kind of swam off. So this was before they came out and sang. When they sang, two turtles showed up, and Auntie from Waikongi said, "Oh, two turtles right next to each other. That means that somebody here, other than her and her family, has ties to the village of Waikongi." And she kind of looked at everybody like, somebody speak up and tell us, give her the answer, like who's connected to Waikongi. And of course, everybody was looking at each other, and I know by far the least about my family. And so she literally went person by person, and she started with our cousin Evie and said, you're Frank's, what'd she say? You're Frank's daughter?
Yeah, you're Falangai's daughter.
Yeah. And our cousin Evie said she didn't know the lady at all. So when she said you're Falenai's daughter, she was kind of taken aback, but it's an island. So then she went to the next person, and she went to the next person. As she's going and she's asking people about their family history, I keep moving to the end of the line because I know the least about it. And at the end, she asked me, and I said, all I know is my grandmother's last name on my grandmother's last name is Taufate'e. And it ends up one of my uncles grew up in Waikongi, and he received a Matai title. But it was interesting how she was adamant that there was two turtles involved, or there was somebody that had connections to Waikongi because the two turtles had shown up, and I was the last person that I thought was going to be the one to figure out that it was my family.
Yeah, that was pretty neat. So I love that she figured that out, and we were like, don't ask me. Good morning, Reina Zita. Good morning, Nelly. Good morning, Nelly Rodriguez, Washington,
morning,
checking in. So
hope you're feeling better.
That was our Faleku and all our Iku stories for this week. So if you have any, go ahead and tag us so we can be a Faikala on your page. What else is going on this week? Check us out on Tuesday. We have our midweek Talanoa, midweek Faika. You'll find out who it is tomorrow. It's a surprise. Oh, actually, on Tuesday, we'll be interviewing Tony Finau, who is the Pacific Islander golfer. I think he's of Tongan descent.
Wow, that's news to me. I just found that out. Good job, Nackie.
On Instagram.
She's the one that books our shows. Wow.
On Instagram, we'll be going live on Instagram on Tuesday, and so catch us on Tuesday. Katarina said, "What a beautiful story." Ben Von Bula Mahiai. Hello. Okay, and then Bulavanaka to Fiji, who's tuning in. Thank you so much. We ask you to share the page. Nellie is back on again. Good morning, Nellie.
Good morning, Nellie.
Helen Verma. Thank you, Helen. PJ. Good morning. So that was our scary story. Tune in Tuesday.
It was a campfire.
Yeah, it was a campfire story. I wanted to talk about that because I've never heard of it, so I wasn't sure how many people have heard of Mongifo, and so and Alao'o, and so and then there was a village. I forgot what village they said that when people drive through it, they turn off their music and are really quiet because you don't want to wake up the spirits. So, and I believe in that. So
the village of Oakland.
The village of Oakland. There you go. So tons and tons of story. Tuesday, I haven't nailed down the time yet with Tony Finau, but we're doing that on Instagram Live. And then I'll update that tomorrow or early Tuesday morning. It's just we're trying to fit our schedules together. So that's happening this week. I'm pretty sure it's Tuesday. I will let you know. He's going to talk about his journey and why golf and yada, yada, yada. What else do we have?
Essence of Mana.
Yes.
Has Talanoa Tuesday. And as you might guess, the day that's on is Tuesday with Nani and Lulu. The next few weeks, they have started their Survivor Series, and we talked about that earlier. It highlights incredible individuals in our community and the journeys that have brought them to where they are. Tune in every Tuesday with Essence of Mana on their Facebook page, and not just for their new ones. Go back and check out the ones they've already done.
Yes. Benvin, aloha from Lahaina, Maui. Did I say that right?
Lahaina.
Lahaina
Town.
Good morning. You're up early. Thank you for tuning in.
Morning,
Happy
808.
Sunday. Our very own Neo Veve presents Hot Siva every Monday, Wednesday, or Friday at 9 a.m. California time. The Neo Show Facebook page. Go follow him. It's a low impact stretching and aerobics, low aerobics, 2 PI music. You'll love it. It's a great low impact exercise. And again, the tapping gets me going. I love the tapping that he does. And so check it out. Thank you, Nell. She said, I said happy anniversary to you and Mose. Oh, my God. Okay, already. So check out Neo every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 9 a.m. It's a great low-impact exercise thing. So check it out. Check it out.
The Neo Show.
What you got?
Fangongo Samoa is presented by Samoan Solutions. It's a play written by Sia Figel. Produced and adapted by Samoan Solutions. Happening July 10th and 11th. Show details will be announced soon, so follow Samoan Solutions on all social media outlets. That's Facebook and Instagram. And this is the play, and its production is made possible by the generosity of the San Bruno Community Foundation.
Yeah, My Sister's House is a nonprofit organization in the Sacramento region for almost 20 years, and they've been dedicated to serving Asian Pacific Islander and other underserved women and children impacted by domestic violence, sexual assault, and human trafficking. COVID-19 has left many domestic violence survivors isolated with their abusers. So, you think COVID-19 and we're just trying to stay healthy and healthy. And some women that are in violent or crazy relationships are actually shelter in place with the person that's hurting them the most. So COVID-19, there you have a 24/7 multilingual crisis line. It's 916-428-3271, and that is the easiest and fastest way to ask for help. My Sister's House. What else?
What else do we have?
I think we're done.
Yeah. So
we're done.
Hey, that is it for today. We're not going to dilly-dally. We hope you have a blessed rest of your Sunday. We love sharing space with you. Don't forget us in the middle of the week on Tuesday. Our guest, and that's just broken to me, I just found out that our guest is PGA star Tony Finau. And there will be more information that you as a listener and viewer will learn, and I'll learn about too, because I'm going to talk to Nackie after the show and find out all the details about Tony Finau. On Tuesday, check us out. I will see you on Tuesday at 5.
Thank you for tuning in to the Faika podcast. Please follow us on all social media outlets. My Instagram, all of a sudden my Instagram is blowing up. I don't know what's up with that, but check us out. Follow us social media, Instagram and Facebook, because that's where you'll find us. Go find a lot of our interviews on YouTube. Download our Faika app. I'm uploading lots of old episodes. And so thank you for tuning in. Special shout out to our producer, our director, our music, everything, our Faika,
all the cool stuff that happens on the show.
That's going on.
Mena does.
Mena does it. Thank you, Mena. Tune in Tuesday to find out who our guest is, and we're here every Sunday at 10 a.m. Come back to Faika with us.
Coming from the next lane. Cornmeal.